I believe, Mr. Narayan Murthy, I was speaking at the startup park in Bengaluru last week. I said, the most beautiful thing in life is starting from zero. But many people, especially young people, want to start with an advantage. You did not start with an advantage. He got into IIT and could not join because he did not have the money. So I want the life lesson that you learned from it. And how did it prepare you for the future?
You know, it all depends on your context. Your aspirations are defined by your context. Your hopes and your dreams are defined by your context. So therefore, frankly, while I used to feel a little bit unhappy when I received those letters from Chandru, my classmate in pre-university, and then he went on to IIT Madras. But because of the beauty of the teachings of Hinduism, which was my religion, which spoke about contentment, which spoke about doing whatever best you can do under a certain circumstance. Because I was surrounded by extraordinary friends, because I was under the guidance of my parents and my grandmother, my wonderful teachers, I don't think it had much impact. That's what I would say.
But does adversity teach you and prepare you better for the future? Does it make you dream harder? Does it make you more hungry? Because when you started Infosys, almost 18 years later, you must have been very hungry. You must have been like, 36 years old? 35 years old, 10,000 rupees in your pocket. You had a job. You were by now an IITian. You had done your post-graduation from IIT Kanpur, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you were sorted. You were living the middle-class dream. Everything was fine. And then you gave it up and you wanted to start something. So I want the audience to relate between the Narayan Murthy who got admission to IIT and could not join because he did not have 60 rupees per month to pay for fees, and the Narayan Murthy who at the age of 35 starts Infosys with 10,000 rupees. Did your early adversity make you more of a risk taker, Mr. Narayan Murthy?
You know, in some sense, I have been shaped by the compassion, generosity, and the conviviality of my mother. She had just passed her 8th class. She was from a village. My father's side, they were very highly educated. And she taught us the importance of contentment. She taught us the importance of generosity. She taught us the importance of working hard. She taught us the importance of moving up through hard work, discipline, and high aspirations. So I would say that it really did not matter too much. Just to give you an idea, when I founded Infosys, I invited 6 younger people. Most of them were 5 to 6 levels below me. I took 1/10 the salary I was getting, 1/10. But I ensured that all my other 6 fellows got at least 20% higher salary. I just kept only 23% of the equity. I gave 15% equity to people who had not even completed 2 years of work. And I have not come across another example of such a thing in India or anywhere else. Maybe I'm ignorant. Now, all of that, I credit my mother. I'm extremely grateful to me that she gave me that she taught me the importance of sharing, caring, and generosity. So that's why.
So tell me about the Infosys start stories, some anecdote. We've read about it, but something we don't know when you started Infosys. A story.
Well, you know, when I decided to found Infosys on December 26th, 1980. I spoke to my colleague, Mr. N.S. Raghavan, on 29th of December 1980. Then I spoke to Mr. Chris Krishnan, who was the third person, on December 30th. And then I spoke to Sri Nandan Nilekani next day, that is December 31st, 1980. Raghavan and Chris very immediately agreed to come on board. Nandan agreed immediately. But I told him, I said, friend, you're going to get married now on, he got married on 6th or 7th of January 1981. You may want to consult your fiancé and your future parents-in-law. He says, no, that's not necessary. I said, no, man, young man, please listen to me and go and do that. So after 3-4 days, he came back with a sheepish smile and he said, Ms. Murthy, would it be possible for you to come and meet my uncle, Sri Devgi? Sri Devgi was an entrepreneur who had founded Devgi Metalworks in Pune. He said, my parents-in-law want me to arrange a meeting between you and Sri Devgi. Devgi wants to talk to you and find out your idea of entrepreneurship. I said, most welcome. So Sudha and I, we went to Nandan's grand uncle's house in Worli. And Sudha and Nandan's grand uncle hit it off very well because they were both from the Indian Institute of Science. Of course, difference in years was there. Devgi and I went into about 2 hours of conversation about my idea of founding Infosys, why it is well-founded, why it is, the probability of success is higher, all of that. And finally, Mr. Devgi seemed to have been quite satisfied with this middleman's crazy idea. And then he must have communicated to Mr. Soman, Rohini's father. And then Nandan came back and said, yeah, everybody is happy. Now I will join you. On the other hand, Chris Krishnan came from a business family. He said, no, I have no issue. I have a lot of faith in you. I'll join. Then we invited, later on, after about 3-4 months later, we invited Sri Dinesh, Sri Shibulal, and Sri Ashok Arora. So that was one interesting incident where, which is probably worth mentioning. And it was, those days, it took about probably 20 visits to 50 visits to Delhi to get a license to import a computer. It took about 10 visits to even modify the license because in the US, every month there used to be a new model of the equipment which was probably 50% more powerful, but which was offered at 30% lower price. But getting the approval from the Government of India, the Department of Electronics, was a tortuous and torturous affair.